What's up, guys? Welcome to First on Film, my second review video. You might have watched my first, which was the Cloverfield Paradox. Today, I have a steaming pile of hot garbage to review for you guys. And I'm not showing my face in this video because I don't have a haircut and I myself look like a hot steaming pile of garbage. Um, so today I'm going to be getting into a movie. I don't want to call it Hellraiser because it doesn't feel like a Hellraiser movie, but Hellraiser Judgment. And this came out of nowhere. I guess maybe I'm a little slow and, not quick to pick up on these things, but oh man, this shit is awful. Like, I can't be nice or halfway decent or civil and speak kindly about this film in any type of way. It's just bad from start to finish. So I'm not going to spare or waste any time. I'm just going to get right into it. For starters, the opening scene in this film, the first 12 minutes before they actually get to like a credit roll, it feels like a fan-made YouTube film that starts off with like an S&M type of theme, and they show this. I guess he's a Cenobite, one of the demons that actually helps Pinhead collect souls and take them back to hell for torture for all eternity and stuff like that. So the film starts off and it's just very bizarre for the first 12 minutes before actually letting any of us know that it's a Hellraiser film. Okay, so after that, we are introduced to two characters now. Keep in mind the numbers. I'm going to be speaking a lot of numbers in this video. Two characters, two brothers, who both happen to be detectives. They get called out of nowhere by no police chief of any kind. They get called to a murder of a young lady. And when they get to the crime scene, there are there are no cops in sight, honestly. There are no cops. There are no other detectives. There are no uniform guys. There are no forensics guys. There's no yellow tape. It's just these two guys, no footies, no gloves on, and they're just there. This random murder happens for no reason, doesn't tell you why this young lady gets killed, and they have to solve, I guess, this young lady's murder being a part of a string of murders being orchestrated by a serial killer who, yet again, we don't get any backstory on. We just get thrown into this hot steaming pile of garbage and we got to follow along as we go. So moving along, it's just these two characters for the most part who are trying to solve this murder. There's no team. There's not even, I don't think there's anybody in this town, whatever town. They don't even specify the city that they're filming this in or where the story takes place. I don't see any people. But out of nowhere, we get introduced to a third character, which is another detective, a female lead role, who's actually been sent in there to investigate the two brothers because I guess the Internal Affairs Bureau or what have you kind of has their suspicions on these two guys. So, moving along, the movie just drags out and, it's very predictable, bad writing, not a lot of anything to build up to what's actually gonna happen. And the whole time I was watching it again, I felt like I was watching a fan-made YouTube film. And we don't see too much of Pinhead in this movie, which is rare for a Hellraiser flick because it can't be Hellraiser without having Pinhead. But in this film, they made him less of like an evil entity and more like Tony Soprano or like a mob boss in like Goodfellas, who just have these stupid henchmen running around collecting souls for him. And they don't tell you why he needs these souls, or they don't tell you why he's going in a different method of collecting the souls, other than just, yeah, we need these people and we're going to torture them and we're going to have some chains come out here and there, and that's it. So, moving along, long story short, and I'm gonna spoil this for you guys that haven't seen this, but I can't really call it a spoiler because the film was spoiled, I guess, the moment that they released this shit to Blu-ray. Um, so come to find out, one of the brothers turns out to actually be the so-called serial killer that they were looking for like maybe the first 5 minutes of the film. Um, it's just terrible writing, a terrible story, no character development. It didn't feel like a Hellraiser film at all. It just felt like somebody with a little bit of money to spend and an idea, and a couple of guys that agreed with his idea said, okay, let's go get some cameras and let's go set something up and start shooting, because the costumes, everything about this film is just horrible. So uh, getting more into this film, we have characters that get introduced later on that make completely no sense. Like there's an angel who they really don't specify why she's in the film, but she just pops up at random and wants to have I guess the main protagonist, if you can call him that, which is the serial killing detective. She wants to have him released and out of the clutches of Pinhead and his Cenobites and sent on back to Earth. Sorry, because they love the work and they admire what he's doing up in heaven. Again, I can't make this shit up, honestly. Like, it's just poor writing at its best. And so you have like this side story of good versus evil. Pinhead has to develop a new way to collect souls, and he has to do it and sneak under the radar, I guess, of heaven and the heaven police. But it doesn't really make any sense at all, and I don't understand why they added it in there. I guess maybe to make the story itself longer, because I left one major thing out about this film which makes it more trash than it already is. This film is like an hour and 20 minutes long. I mean, seriously, I could crack open 2 beers and be done with my 2 beers, and that's like the duration of the film. Um, it's just horrible writing, and I really don't recommend you guys watching this film at all. I would say if you see this and wherever they sell Blu-ray DVDs, or wherever you have like a streaming service and you might see this film, don't even waste your time, because you're going to be so pissed off that you did. And I really would wish that they would put the Hellraiser series to bed, unless they actually turn it over to some hands that would actually know what to do with it. Some horror-oriented people, rather than just a bunch of people that have a little bit of cash to spend and make a low-budget piece of trash like this. So, there you have it. That's my assessment. Hellraiser Judgment. Stay away from this film. Check you guys on the next vid.